G'day, Heath here from pickinglessons.com. In this mandolin lesson, we're going to take a look at a bunch of bluegrass licks in the key of G. We're going to work through the 1, 4, 5 chords, so the G, the C, and the D chords, mainly in the open position, a little bit of closed position playing as well. That example solo we just heard there, that's using all these variations we're going to look at, plus a couple more in there as well. To get us going, we're going to take a look at the first 6, what I call preparation licks. So these are short, kind of resolving licks that feature within that solo, but you can use in your own playing to kind of tie off a phrase over the G chord. They work really well. But if you head to pickinglessons.com, we're going to continue this lesson. We're going to break down the remainder of the licks. We have a variety of G licks. We've got C moving into G and also D moving into G variations, and of course that example that we just heard at the beginning of this video, we're going to break that down. So there's a whole lot of playing to cover, and we're using the pentatonic scale, the blues scale, we're bringing in chromatic notes, blue notes, all that cool stuff that gives us that bluegrass sound. You better grab the tablature at pickinglessons.com as well. Now let's get into these first 6 licks though. So these preparation licks, they're all quite short. They're all over one measure, resolving into the next measure. So for example, the first one we're going to look at is this G run. It's the classic G run. And so this one here, we're resolving on the G on string 3 there for 5th fret, and we're starting on the open G string 4. So that one makes use of the blue note there, the flat 3. So the B is our major third, the flat 3 is the 3rd fret there. So that's a blue note. Outside the scale takes us away from the chord, yeah, and we're coming back into the chord by sliding. That's that classic bluegrass G run. Here's a variation on that same run, second one up, but we're going to go up into the next octave. Slight variation on how to play it though. Just to keep it easy under our fingers for the notes we have access to. So again, from the 5th fret there on the G, this time we're sliding from that flat 3 into the 3rd, so a B flat to a B, yeah, on string 2. You could put them back to back. We could go lick 1. Yeah, now we've got a longer idea, and that's kind of what we're going to be doing. We're going to be looking at how we can put all these licks together and create length. Look at how these licks will be played over those chords we're talking about. So these are all licks over the G chord at the moment. Now, the 3rd lick along, we're using more of the blue notes. We're using the F, which is outside the G major scale. So that's a flat 7. Yeah. We're using a minor pentatonic essentially, so we're kind of working out of this G minor shape. But we're going to bring in the major 3rd, so we have, yeah. So slowly there, 1st and 2nd fingers. 2nd, open, 1st finger of that slide. Down to the G. So that one's using those blue notes a little bit more, got the F and the B flat in there as well. So those belong to the minor, G minor pentatonic. So we're crossing over between the major and the minor sound. There's a whole bunch of lick ideas and lick videos at pickinglessons.com too you can check out, which we sort of talk about all this as well. The 4th lick along, again, we're going to start on that F, the flat 7. So this one, we're starting on the F and we're resolving, yeah, and moving on again. So we move down to that E back to the G. Let's try putting 3rd and 4th licks together. Yeah, slightly change the phrasing of the rhythm there, but you get the idea. We can put these together. They're going to work really well. Okay, so we'll move on to the last 2, remembering that these are all over the G chord, so we wouldn't use these over a C or a D, so we're playing specifically over the chord, and we'll talk more about that as we move through. So some of the licks later on, we're looking at, say, a C through to a G, and so we're playing over the C chord, making our way into the G. So we're kind of thinking about that as we move through our phrases and our licks. Our final two though, this G lick, number 5, we've got the rest on the first beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. This is great. This is a great way of resolving a solo or a bit of a break. So we have rest. Now that works great over a G chord, but we could equally use it over a D chord. It works just as well. D back into G. So if the chord progression was D and G, turn around progression, D, back to the G. Works really, really nice. Now number 6, this one is in a closed position. We're moving up the neck here. So we're using this position of the pentatonic scale, yeah, major pentatonic. And the lick uses the flat 3. Yeah, in that closed position there, that G. So we could use that on a G here, for example. Yeah, I could use it on a C. So closed licks are great because you can move them around really easily. So obviously a lot of these licks are using open strings too. But this 6th lick along over G, there we go. And it works really, really nice, that closed position, and we're moving up the neck there too. So that's kind of nice, getting those higher tones. So there's our first 6 licks. Now they're great for resolving, but you can use them at any point in a break. So when you're playing over a G chord, so we're not thinking about melody as such. We're thinking about that bluegrass sound. We're using the blue notes, the flat 3, the flat 7. We're crossing over between a major pentatonic and a minor pentatonic sound. Pickinlessons.com, we're going to break more of this down. So we have a bunch more licks, some longer licks. We're going to look at that solo we heard at the beginning of this video as well. You've got the tablature there, and you have backing and play along tracks to help you out as you're learning it. So pickinlessons.com, I'll see you there.